Mark, a trip to Newport County coming up next, and that's a game that's tended to have thrown up a bit of a cracker, hasn't it? But after Tuesday night, perhaps you'll be hoping for a more relaxed 90 minutes.
Yeah, I don't want a cracker like the other night, that's for certain. So yeah, Newport had a great start. They've had a couple of issues lately. You know, obviously, by their own admission, the pitch hasn't helped them. But you know, when you play a rugby on it, that's kind of what you're going to get. So, but been great this year, Newport, the way they've played. So it's going to be a tough game.
And they really were leading the charge for a while at the start of the season, wasn't it? But there's no reason they can't find themselves back up there come the end of the campaign.
No, I think they've, by their own admission, now they've got to change their style halfway through a season and go a little bit more direct, which is, you know, you've got to do whatever you've got to do to win a game of football. So, been really impressed with them and looking forward to the game.
And when it comes to Tuesday night, you scored 2 goals in the second half from crosses into your big forwards and another set piece. Is that the sort of thing that's going to have to come through against Newport County?
Listen, it's just about on the day and dealing with whatever problems are thrown your way. You know, there was a lot of mistakes in the game the other night for both teams defensively. It was if there was any defensive mind people watching that, they would have had nightmares for weeks. And it was just a freak of a game for us because we've been really good defensively and not scored as many as we should have, and we end up scoring 4 and conceding 3. So it's one that we've dissected it, we've put it to bed, and we move on, and we'll deal with whatever Saturday comes. However we've got to score a goal, we'll try and do it, and now whatever we've got to do to try and stop a goal going in at our end, we'll do that.
And as you mentioned, a bit of a strange one because as you say, Forest Green have been really tight at the back this season and maybe not as fruitful as they were Tuesday night going forward, but just a complete switch. And was it just a freak?
Let's hope so. I don't mind winning, you know, as long as 4-3, but I wouldn't like to be on the losing end of it. So we need to have more control. You know, there was no control in the game the other night, and the way we play, we're quite controlled in our positioning, and we need that certainly on Saturday. That's Sunday.
And Forest Green have won the most games in League 1 and 2 by a single goal. That just shows your defensive ability, doesn't it? And just how important it is, especially in the late stages when the opposition chucks the kitchen sink at you. Yeah,
football's not just about scoring lots of goals. You've also got to defend well as a team. That just doesn't mean the goalkeeper and the defenders, it's the whole team. You know, midfield players have to stay with runners into the box, forwards have to close down and get back in the last few minutes and run. So it's a real team effort to be good defensively.
And you said before Tuesday night's game that you'd be hoping that players from all over the pitch would chip in with goals. Were you expecting a brace from your left back?
Well, I think if you look back, he scored a very similar goal for MK Dons at Doncaster start of the season, where he played a couple of 1-2s and put it in the far corner in the last couple of minutes, and it was very, very similar. Great goal. It was probably our first bit of play in the game where we were controlled. We had some crisp passes and worked the ball out there, and he played a 1-2 with Josh and put it in the corner.
And he's been a great signing, hasn't he, since joining from MK Dons? That must be one that you're really pleased to have got over the line.
Yeah, of course, when you lose a player of Liam Kitchen's ability, you've got to do really well to replace him without too much fuss or too much disruption, and we've done that. And
there seems to be a real good link up down the left hand side between him and Nicky Cadden. I mean, that's such a dangerous attack down that left for you, isn't it?
It is, yeah. They've both got great left foots, so I expect us to score or get in dangerous positions on that left side.
And that's something you've been enjoying watching, is it?
Of course, yeah. I enjoy watching the boys play all the time. Just not like I didn't enjoy that the other night at all.
And going back to Newport, the game has been moved to a Sunday to give the pitch a chance to recover from the rugby match on Friday night. Has that made a bit of a mess of your training schedule, or is it one of those ones that you just have to adapt to the way things come?
I've said from the start of the season, you've got to be adaptable. The teams this year that can be flexible, adaptable, and in all different kinds of situations, whether it be illness, weather, you've got to do it. So the game's on Sunday, and we'll go and play, and then we play again on Wednesday. still got to play the game. So it doesn't matter where it is, what time. We've just got to deal with it.
And there have been a few moments like that you really have had to adapt. I think the Stevenage game stands out when you were missing, I think, 5 first-team players for a combination of injury and illness. Things like that, and the random seeming rescheduling of games. Is that going to be one where you look back and go that those were the defining moments of your season?
Well, I think we all signed up for it at the start of the season. So the bit that I find strange is all the clubs signed up for it at the start of the season. They knew what it was going to be like. And then you still get people moaning about it. Just get on with it. That's what it is at the minute. Just get on with it. Let's get the season played out and see what happens.
And when it comes to the pitch at Newport, it must be nice to have a second option to put a ball in the box to now with Josh Davison alongside Jamil Matt.
That's right. Yeah. Josh did great the other night. Jammer came on and was brilliant when he came on and gave us a little bit more thrust, and presence up there. Got his 10th goal of the season. So yeah, good option to have.